We all want to love and be loved, but the latter often somehow doesn't work out somehow. It happens that we like a person, but no reciprocity is visible. How to interest, attract, fall in love, and evoke reciprocal feelings? The problem is definitely with an asterisk. But we have original, interesting, and most importantly, working ways to fall in love with almost any person, anyone. Interested. Nobody wants unrequited love, and therefore you need to learn to arouse interest and sparkle in your beloved eyes. But how to learn this? Because such sciences have not been taught to us anywhere. So how do you please a person? Get comfortable. I'll tell you. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel so as not to miss anything interesting. Use the triangular gaze method. This secret is not known to ordinary people, but it is used by psychologists and professional negotiators. To establish official relations with a person, you need to look into the left eye, and for closer and more trusting, into the right. For the interlocutor, it will be left from his point of view, and right, this is how we see. Looking into the right eye most of the time when talking, we turn a little with the left side of the face towards the person, which creates a feeling of mutual trust and makes us more beautiful. In addition, you can use a cunning trick at the moment when your future soulmate speaks. It's a triangular look that can make almost anyone fall in love with it. To do this, look at the interlocutor's left eye for 1 second, then look at the lips for 2 seconds, and then look at the right eye for 1 second. By repeating this trick several times in 5 minutes, there is a high probability that you will fall head over heels. Touch the person on a date. Tactile touch is a way of physically communicating with another person. Tactile communication is one of the most effective dating hacks. There is nothing more eloquent than silent touches, wrote contemporary writer Elchin Safarli. Not only does it sound good, but it also works just as well. The best way to arouse interest and excite another person is to touch them as often as possible. Take your hand while walking, pat on the back, playfully tickle, hug, jokingly push with your shoulder. Jokingly tell fortunes on your hand. Play with your hair. Remove an invisible speck of dust from your eye. Any touch subconsciously brings people together, making them fall in love without looking back. So use it. Compliment your soulmate. This method was also used by the famous Italian womanizer Giacomo Casanova. He gave advice: praise the beautiful for their intelligence and the smart for their beauty. The surest way to a person's heart is a compliment. A simple compliment. But people do not have immunity to it, because everyone immediately smiles and melts like ice cream in the sun. On a date, at least 2 types of compliments should be said, and one should relate to the appearance, and the second to the internal qualities of the interlocutor. Appreciate the beautiful image of a person, the unusual sparkle of the eyes, the perky laughter, the beauty of the dimples on the face. Do not forget about internal qualities: an excellent sense of humor, charm of temperament, high intelligence, firmness of character. You can say a compliment directly in a conversation and sometimes in a whisper in your ear, as if you want to share a secret. It will definitely give you goosebumps. Your compliment will hit the target if it is sincere and simple and not crude, clumsy flattery, like an elephant in a china shop. It is a great idea to sometimes call the interlocutor by name, because this is like everyone's favorite, which will be perceived subconsciously as an elegant compliment. Have an interesting conversation on a date and smile. Usually on a date, we try to seem interesting to each other by talking about ourselves and our lives. There is nothing wrong with embellishing your life a little, making it more exciting in order to be like my mother's friend's son. In addition, it is important to be able to listen, asking clarifying questions, thereby showing interest. You will be considered a good conversationalist if you learn to listen more than talk. It's no wonder people have 2 ears and 1 mouth. It is also important to have conversations about topics that interest your other half. Try to show empathy in order to understand the mood, emotions, and feelings of the interlocutor, as if being on the same wavelength. Do not forget to smile. because everyone loves perky, positive, optimistic, and cheerful people. How do you know if a date is going well? If the other half carelessly smiles at all the nonsense that you are talking about, then everything is going according to plan. Flirt and intrigue. Remember that a person is characterized by facial expressions, gestures, intonation of voice, and other nonverbal signals. By these signs, we understand how the interlocutor treats us and what he is like. Use humor, flirting, intrigue, mystery, so that the imagination of the second half plays on your side. Behave confidently and more at ease because self-confidence is always captivating. As the character of one series said, "The secret of successful dates is very simple. Be confident in yourself, do not strain yourself, and do not climb into someone else's shoes." If you behave on the first date, keeping your soul and emotions buttoned up, then you will be considered boring or ordinary. Don't be afraid to tease, joke, provoke, flirt, or be a little ambiguous. You should not behave like a good boy or a good girl because no one is interested in ideal and correct, but boring people. But a little daring, spoiled, temperamental, emotional, sincere, and lively, authentic people are more interesting. Everyone falls in love with bright people, not gray mice. Get closer on a date. Someone has to take the first steps on a date because your lips will not kiss each other. Take the advice of the French writer Frederick Begbetter, who simplified the way to please a person. Crossing at parties is easy. The main thing is to reduce the distance. You have to be able to win positions centimeter by centimeter so that it is not too conspicuous. The principle of rapprochement is that at first you communicate at a distance of 50 centimeters, then you sit on a bench nearby at a distance of 30, straighten your hair behind your ear at a distance of 15, and kiss at a distance of 0. All these non-standard relationship tips work great. What are you? You can easily be convinced by checking them on your next date on some pretty individual. Check out these 6 life hacks, and then write us in the comments what you came up with in the end.